Thank you. And you know they get all the speakers, all the, I knew that. You knew, but I figured I'd make sure I told you. If you can hear me, clap twice. If you can hear me, clap 3 times. If you can hear me, clap 2 more times. And if your neighbor's still talking, turn to them and tell them to shut the hell up because we're about to start this thing. Shh. Everyone give me a quick shh. Welcome, everybody, to Masterclass Orlando. Just want to first off start by just saying thank you. Thank you all for coming out here. I know there's a lot of places you could be. I know a lot of you could make excuses as to why you can't be here. A lot of you could be. Thank you to the people that are joining us on Zoom. Thank you all. And we'll do our best to manage that room. The guys over here will keep checking the wait room once in a while and admit everyone. But if the Zoom gets screwed up, we promise we will email you the video recording after. How many of you guys, is this your first time at Masterclass Orlando? Raise your hand. Let's flip that. How many of you have been here before? Make some noise. So welcome back and welcome everybody that's here for the first time. We do this the 3rd Thursday of every single month. Thanks, man. January through November. So we have 2 more sessions left for the year after today. In fact, while I'm here right now, I'm going to do a little something. The next session is October what? What's the 3rd Thursday in October? Say it again. Yell it out. It's the 21st. I don't know why someone's saying something else. October 21st is the 3rd Thursday. And just so you understand why we do this, the whole point of this is to provide a neutral platform to help educate and inspire agents in Central Florida. We put agents that rank in the top 500 on the stage to teach everyone else what they do and how they do it. And it's put on by Orlando Real Producers, which is a private group exclusively for those top 500 agents. And so we put out a magazine, we run a Facebook community, we run events. We've been doing it for about 5 years now. How many of you guys have ever been to a Real Producers party? Make some noise. If you haven't, it's cool. Just break the top 500 and you'll get an invite for next year. And that's why we have people up here teaching you how to do it. Does that make sense? So the platform is sponsored by about 75 affiliate partners, and they represent the best of the best. What that means is if you meet a vendor in this room, any type of vendor, they're literally referred by another top 500 agent. They've been vetted, and they don't just sponsor, like they don't show up and sponsor with a few $100 or bagels. They commit to a 2 to 4 year partnership that costs thousands and thousands of dollars to build relationships with you guys. So real quick show of hands, can we get a quick show of hands if you are one of the Real Producer partners in the room? Raise your hand really high. Everyone take a look at those people. Let's give them a giant round of applause if your hands aren't up. And if you see someone that had their hand up, make sure you connect with them after. The best way you can thank us for doing this event, if you've ever learned something good at a Real Producer event or at a masterclass, is reach out to or connect with one of our partners. It doesn't mean you have to use them. It just means that you give them a chance to talk to you about whether or not they're a good fit for your business. Is that cool? That's how we keep these events free or kind of free and donating to charity. So next session, 3rd Thursday, October 21st. In fact, if you go to, I believe masterclassorlando.com should be live right now for next month's session. If not, the number 407mastermind.com is live. So you can go to 407mastermind.com and get next month's session. And here's why you should. The first 150 registrations are free. After that, you pay to donate to charity. So a lot of you guys that signed up in the last week or two paid for something you could have signed up for free while sitting here. So my recommendation is, if you're hearing me right now, you pull out your phone and you go to masterclassorlando.com. We don't count seats, and we don't count, like, there's no reason not to just register while it's free. Just throwing it out there. I'm not going to say, oh my God, Suzanne, you registered and you weren't there. Like, that's not going to happen. So I recommend that you guys register now while it's free, masterclassorlando.com. And next month's panel, I'll just tell you what we got for the rest of the year. Next month, we're doing a women's panel. The money's going to Breast Cancer Research Fund. And we're going to have 4, possibly 5 of the top producing agents in Central Florida. And when I say the top producing, I mean like literally number 1 through 5. Okay? And they all happen to be women. Can you give a round of applause? At least the ladies in the room should be excited about that. I'll say that one more time. The number 1 through 5 agents in Central Florida are all women. I think number 6 might even be a woman, depending on when we pull the ranking. Chris Cregan goes neck and neck with a few people, so he sometimes jumps them. Haven't looked lately. But we're going to have a handful of them on a panel. It's going to be dope. I promise you're going to want to sign up, and the money goes to a great cause. And because it's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, it's a pretty cool theme. November's panel, we're going to have 5 NAR 30 under 30 winners, previous 30 under 30 winners, and we have my personal coach, Wayne Salmons, who writes the Coaches Corners for Real Producers. He's also a NAR 30 under 30 winner, and he's flying in from Dallas to help MC and speak. He's kicking the thing off, and then he's going to help moderate. We're going to have 4 or 5, I think there's 5 winners from Orlando over the last few years, so they're going to be here. Anyone excited about that? If you are, say that's hot. Anyone excited about the next 2 months masterclasses? Make some noise. All right. So we're going to get this thing started. Obviously, we have 75 people that made this thing happen. We have 10 companies that step up each month extra to make this session happen. By the way, can we give a round of applause to Harry Buffalo for having us here for like the 65th time, I believe? The best way you can thank them is one of 2 ways. Either stick around and buy some food, or those of you that can't, you got to run somewhere, just tip the bartender. Leave some cash on the bar. It goes such a long way. There's hundreds of us here. Like a few dollars a person would totally make their day. So I'm just going to say that one more time. The best way you could thank us is buy some food at the end. You can get food to go even, right, if you get it a little bit early. Or just tip the bartenders. They would be stoked if everyone here gave them something. So I'll just throw that out there. So aside from that, we got 10 companies that stepped up to make today happen. We have 3 or 4 supporting sponsors that we'll give a quick shout out to as well. I know we'll bring them. By the way, sponsors, you should get to the front of the room. I should have said that earlier. Sponsors, you may want to line up at the front of the room because we're ready to roll. I'm going to speak for one of our first sponsors. They sponsored, I think, every masterclass, or at least almost every masterclass. They're not here right now, so we're going to give a giant 1, 2, 3 clap to Zach Blesnick, Ryan Plaza, Christian, and the team at Home First Lending. Let's do 1, 2, 3. All right. Next up, by the way, do we have the Koala Roofing video, or are we going to let him talk? All right, cool. Just checking. All right, next time. All right, let's give also, make sure that we give a shout out to our supporting sponsors because I tend to forget them, so I'm going to say them now. One is, where's Leslie with Selling Shots? Leslie was selling shots over there. Let's give her a round of applause. They do awesome photography. We've got Tammy Birchler with HWA. Let's give her a 1, 2, 3 clap. We've got Veranda Properties. We got Natalie right here in the front. Give them a round of applause. And we got someone else, and I'll probably say them at the end because the slides just... Oh, Reliant Home Remodeling. David Buckles, is he here? David Buckles and his team at Reliant Home Remodeling. Let's give them a 1, 2, 3 clap. Let's bring up our sponsors. You guys just grab a mic and let's do this thing. So they're going to each just take 60 seconds to tell you who they are and what they do. And let's give a round of applause to Jody from Celebration Title Group.
I'm on. Good morning, everyone. Jody with Celebration Title Group. So you guys know what we do. We're a title company. We do real estate closings. We are home to the original confetti cannon closing. So what we love to do is really sit down with our agents, deep dive into your personality, which we have something cool coming up. We want to know your why, your purpose, what drives you, and how we can help you grow and thrive, especially in this crazy real estate market. So a couple of cool things we're doing at the end of the month. We have a Facebook Live panel. We're going to be diving into disc profiles. So if you ever wanted to know how to sell to different personalities, join us for that on the 28th. And then, of course, the hot topic right now are all the contract changes coming up in November. So we're going to be offering a series of workshops. Join us for any of them so you can learn all about the contract changes happening and really be up to date on everything going on in the market. So we'd love to work with you, help you guys thrive, grow, and really establish your brand and your business in this market. Jody, Celebration Title Group.
All right. Let's just keep this rolling, guys. If you guys are a sponsor, step closer to the stage and grab the mic and just keep us going. Next up, we got Jeff's team with Older Public Home Protection. Go ahead, Jeff.
Testing. Hey, good morning, everyone. Jeff Velez, Older Public Home Protection. I'm here with Cameron Foster. We also have Sabrina Serrano in this market. And we're here for a couple things. So first of all, we like to take care of your clients, right? We want to pay claims. They have things breaking down. But we also want to help you grow your business. So if you've ever worked with us before, you may have received a little postcard in your mailbox or you get something online that shows that we've rendered service for one of your clients. So for example, they'll kind of look like this here, and it'll say, hey, we did a heating, heat pump, air conditioning for $700, Total services rendered to date, $8,752. Do your clients have $8,752 hanging around to pay for repairs? Probably not, especially in this market if they paid top dollar for a property. So regardless of if it's on the transaction or not, please keep us in mind. Share their contact information. We'll reach out to your client on your behalf. We're going to cross-sell you. We're going to go, oh my God, you just closed the transaction with John Russell. He's a rock star. Don't know how you found him, but he wanted me to give you a call and give you some information about a home warranty. So that's easy. Share the contact information, Cameron, Sabrina, and he's got some quick news for you.
Yeah, if you are an Old Republic client, we have a new product coming out on October 1st, and we've really streamlined this product to make it easier for a buyer to choose which plan best fits their new home. So look for that product in your offices in the next 2 weeks, okay?
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Am I on? Yes, I am. Is that his or mine?
That's his. You're good.
Okay. Hey, y'all. I'm Shay. I'm a branding photographer. Oh, hi. Y'all look fresh today. Hey. I'm a branding photographer and personal hype girl. I offer a branding photo shoot called the Vibe Session, which is a personalized to your brand vibe photo shoot. We collaborate on locations, outfits, and how to apply the photos after you leave the photo shoot in your marketing or whatever you have coming up for your socials. So I'm pretty easy to get a hold of, shaywalkerphoto.com or on IG, shaywalkerphoto. And I hope to vibe with some of you guys soon. I'll post for the photo. Get it, Jeanette. Get it, girl.
All right, let's give a round of applause
Thank
to
you,
Shay
guys.
Walker. Next up, we got Vic DeVore, DeVore Design.
Good morning. So Shay Walker will do all your content photography. DeVore Design, we do listing media, so real estate photography, videos, and DeVore Design, I just want to let you know that we support you. We have I've personally been involved in over 40 events year to date. Those are events that we either co-sponsor like this or bring in real estate agents and teams out on the boat. You guys might see the social media. We are in this to support you guys. Nobody on our staff has a real estate license, none of our photographers, none of our home stagers. You're never going to compete against us. We're never going to compete against you. We are in business to serve you, make you guys look great, and I hope that you guys will support us. If you've already worked with a photographer, if you ever need a backup, think about DeVore Design. We really would appreciate your business. And let's hear a round of applause. I always like to do a selfie on stage, so let's do a quick selfie.
Everyone throw your arms up just reach your arms out so it looks all crazy.
Yeah, there we go. Big smile. And a round of applause for Aaron for putting this together every month.
Thanks, y'all. Let's keep it going. We got Zach Young now. He is the man when it comes to health insurance. If you need someone that actually cares and will help make sure you're saving the right amount of money and you're getting the right amount of coverage, I promise you this is the person you're going to need to meet. So, Zach, on the bottom.
So thanks, Aaron, for the intro. Yeah, my name is Zach Young. If you guys don't already know me, I'm the exclusive insurance for health insurance for everybody here. Just to give you a quick little rundown what I do, of course, how I help people, right? A handful of you guys in this room are already clients of mine, but just to let you know, basically, if you should be reaching out to me or not. This is how it works. If you are an individual making gross income before taxes write-off, even if you have an S-Corp, okay? If you make over $55,000 a year as an individual, reach out to me, okay? If you make over $65,000 a year as a couple or $75,000 a year as a family of three, so on and so forth, you kind of get it. At the end of the day, we're all paying kind of out the nose for self-employed people for health insurance. So reach out, and of course, I have options for you where you don't have to compromise the level of coverage that you get. And basically, I will tailor it to you and your process. So please reach out. Of course, my name is Zach Young with US Health Group, and pleasure talking to all of you. Bye, guys.
All right. Next up, we got Matthew Dees with Cross Country Mortgage.
Hello, everybody. My name is Matthew Dees. I work with Cross Country Mortgage. We work in all 50 states. I know a lot of you probably already deal with your own personal loan officers, but I'm not asking for all your business. We do have a lot of less red tape than most companies. We get things escalated to the owner of the company all the time. There's no overlays. So we have a great team behind us. Just asking for one or two deals to prove ourselves. If you guys have any questions after the speakers are done speaking, come find me later. Again, my name is Matthew from Cross Country Mortgage. Thanks a lot.
All right. Rounding this thing up, we got two more sponsors left. We got Heather Hurry with the Jeff Mackey team with Pillar to Post Home Inspection. Try that again on the bottom. Hold on one second.
To the rescue. Whoa, hey everybody. Heather Hurry, Pillar to Post, the Jeff Mackey team. How you doing? I see a lot of familiar faces in the room. If everybody's feeling really, really great, let's do a 1, 2, 3 clap on honor of Aaron, of course. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So listen, if anybody in the room is in need of a solid home inspections company or commercial inspections company, we got you covered. 3 big things that are happening in our office right now that I know that you're going to be excited about too, because they're going to serve you and your clients better. Because it's all about you, it's not about me, right? So P2P 360 virtual tours, free with every inspection. Centrique, a download application where they can actually get the instruction manual for their appliances. And 4, punch list. Who loves cost of repairs inside their home inspections report? So anyway, if any of those items are interesting to you, please find me afterwards. And thank you for all of you for saying hi at check-in. And listen, we're going to rock this masterclass. I can't wait to hear from the panel. See y'all later. Thanks.
And by the way, you're going to learn more about their inspection reports if you get next month's edition of Orlando Real Producers. There's a whole article about it. Bring us home, Brett, with Koala Roofing. You guys should make sure you're following Koala Roofing on Facebook. It's easy, and Brett can even spell it out for those of you that need it spelled.
You're still having a problem with spelling, aren't you, Aaron?
Sometimes. Koala's a hard one.
KOALA_roofing. If everybody can go to their phones, Instagram, and check out our new video on there, that was be appreciated. As a former realtor, before I've been doing this for 13 years, I have a lot of experience and knowledge that I'm here to help you in a deal and not screw your deal up, but help close it. So whether it's a repair or tile and metal is something we really excel at. Get in touch with us and look forward to meeting each of you and hopefully working with you. Thank you.
All right. Let's give a round of applause to all of our sponsors that made today happen or make Real Producers happen, and anybody ready to hear from the panelists. If you are, let's make some noise. All right, let's start. First up. By the way this is going to work, if you have a question for the panelists, you can write it on those little note cards, and I'll be walking around the room. If you pass it to me, I'll try to ask your question. If you don't get your question asked and you don't try to pass it to me, it's totally your fault, because I'm the only one here that's not a real estate agent or a vendor, so just throwing that out there. I'm just here to moderate. So, first up, we got Karen Arbatine of Remax Central Realty. She's one of our hometown realtors. She features hidden gems throughout Central Florida where residents love to live and play. She's been one of the top 1% realtors in the Orlando market since 2010, from 2010 to 2020, as well as being awarded a Diamond Producer Award for over $25 million in sales last year in 2020. Can I get it that hot? She joined Remax in 2007 and is known for consistently selling homes for the highest price per square foot in the neighborhood. She is consistently one of the top, if not literally the top producing agent in Seminole County. She also holds the highest residential sales record for the highest sales price in the for the highest sales price in the history of Seminole County at $8.2 million. In her spare time, she volunteers for Labrador Retrieval Rescue of Florida. How many of you guys have seen her black lab somewhere? We almost put it in the slideshow. But anyways, let's give a giant round of applause to one of the top 20 agents in Orlando every single year, year in, year out, Karen Arbutine. Next up, we got Dan Teston. He entered real estate in 2008 in the economic downturn. That was a great time to start real estate. After a career in construction with site service companies that specialize in land development. They have 17 plus years experience, and I'm guessing that's his wife has experience in the title business. Sorry. To make the Teston team. Anyway, they joined EXP in 2019. They tripled their business. They now close 50-plus transactions a year for over $20 million, and they don't spend money on leads. Can I get a giant round of applause for Dan Teston? A realtor since 2005, Beth Hobart has a reputation for impeccable service, and I believe she even won our community service award, I forget what we called it, at the Orpies a few years ago, for her incredible marketing and branding. She's closed over $30 million in sales in the last year. I'll say that one more time. She closed $30 million last year. That's a lot. And the relationships with her clients are her top priority. She pays attention to detail, goes above and beyond, and that is what's paramount. Her clients are more than just another transaction. They continually become lifelong friends. Over the course of her career, she's increased her sales year after year. She's been one of the top producing agents in Central Florida every single year. She's been #1 at closed sales at Mainframe Real Estate since 2016 and was voted the best realtor in Orlando by Orlando's weekly Best of in 2018, 2019, and 2020. Pretty awesome, right? She's really passionate about her community. She's a proud board member of the Orlando City Foundation, the Downtown Orlando Partnership, Florida Executive Woman. She's volunteered with Quest Inc. since 2001. And aside from helping people buy and sell homes, she's an avid runner. She runs countless 5Ks and half marathons under her belt. And around the lines between home and work, although the lines between home and work are blurred, Beth lives, eats, sleeps, and breathes real estate, not just real estate, but Orlando real estate. And her downtime includes spending time with her husband, Jim, who's watching this, I believe, on Zoom, the dog, her family, and friends, and she likes to drink copious amounts of coffee. There's coffee in the back provided by Dayve Design if anybody wants some, or if any of you are nice enough to bring Beth a cup. Just throwing that out there. Let's give a giant round of applause to Beth Hobart. Last but certainly not least, we've got Amy Turner. Before her career in real estate, she graduated from Florida State University. She had a bachelor's degree in social work. After graduating, she worked as a dependency case manager at Children's Home Society and an academic success counselor at Full Sail University. She earned her master's in counseling from Barry University, became a guidance counselor for Orange County Public Schools, and with the tools and skills she learned and developed, she's been able to bring them to real estate and focuses on listening to her clients' wants, needs, and dreams. She married her husband, Colin, in 2009. They run one of the top teams in Orlando real estate. And I'm going to skip over some of this stuff, sorry, Amy. But long story short, they started the Turner Group in 2015 so that she can continue to make a positive impact. And last year, they sold a little over, it's $30 million, am I right? Ish? Amy, is that right? About $30 million-ish last year? $30 million last year. Let's give a giant round of applause to Amy Turner. So if you guys didn't figure it out, everyone on this panel sold between $20 and $40 million last year. So if you didn't sell $20 to $40 million, y'all should listen up. And if you did, you'll probably hear something that you're reminded of or something different you could have done. So let's give one last round of applause to our panelists, and let's kick this thing off. I'm going to start this thing off real simple. I want to hear what your business looks like, what your structure of your business looks like today. Like how many people, what's the team look? Is it a team? Is it you? And then where does the majority of your business come from? What's your primary source, and what are like the second or third layers? I'll start on the end with you, Amy.
All right, so our team, we're a husband and wife team, and we have 5 team members now. So we are the only 2 agents. We do have an admin in the office and a transaction coordinator. And we recently, does that sound different?
That one sounds better.
Okay. And we recently hired an ISA. So we're a small team of 5.
So my team is amazing. They're watching on Zoom right now. So hey, they're amazing. I have an operations manager, Emily, and then Tanya, our client relations coordinator. She just got licensed, so she's training under me to be a buyer's agent to help out with our clients. And yeah, I mean, they're the best. What was the other part of the question?
I'll go back to all of you on that other part.
All right.
We'll just go with the teams.
We are a husband-wife team. My wife is here in the audience, Tan and Teston. We make the Teston team. We've had a transaction manager as well that kind of helps keep our files on task and moving forward. We've had a few agents on our group, but we've kind of gone back to just 2 of us currently because we seem to function a little quicker, a little faster with the way that we do our business overall. But that's it.
Test. Hi, I'm Karen. I am a single agent, and that doesn't mean not married. Joke. I'm a single agent, and I have a team of marketing of 6 people that do my marketing. It's a professional marketing group, and I have 1 person that does all my contracts, but I don't have a team under me other than marketing.
All right, let's stick with you, Karen, and then we'll go back down the row. Where does the majority of your business come from? And if there's a second or third source that you use, I'd love to hear that too. But where does most of your business come from?
If you asked me 5 years ago, I would say postcards and media and print. In the last 3 years, I'm spending more of my money on video marketing. So I have a professional videographer, and I hate to say he follows me around because 5 years ago I didn't even want my picture taken. I had the same real estate picture for 15 years. But I kind of got thrown in it, and I realized that over 10 billion videos worldwide are viewed a day. And I thought, you know, the younger generation is into video. I got to keep up with the market. So that's where I'm at. That's where the majority of my money's spent.
Love it. Tell us a little bit about the video before I keep going. Tell us where do you pump the videos? How many views do you do? How do you pick what you focus on? What types of videos do you run? Give us kind of just an overview of.
Sure. Sometimes I go out in the community and I will talk to local heroes, maybe firemen, policemen, somebody that does something noble for the community. I will interview business owners of restaurants and different businesses in the community. So it's not all about real estate. You're trying to highlight other people in the community because people like to watch videos and they also like to see what's going on in the community, and they don't want to hear you touting real estate. It gets to be quite boring, and nobody wants to hear about you all the time, so you have to focus on other people. But then you throw in real estate, maybe show a listing and do a video of a listing. I know Vic DeVore has a great team of videographers that do that. And then you just pick up the community with the video of the listings as well as your personal touch. So I'll go out sometimes without a professional videographer, and I'll use my cell phone, which I hate doing, but it makes it more organic with your cell phone instead of it's more organic, but you have to mix it up. You have to do professional, and then you do organic with your cell phone.
Where do the videos go? Are you put them on Facebook, or you put them on YouTube? Where are the videos being used?
Everywhere. YouTube, Facebook, and if you're not using AdRoll is huge. So anybody that ever has clicked on an ad for real estate, if they've ever clicked on it, every time they open their computer, they're going to get an ad from me. Even if it's Sports Illustrated, it's real estate, realestate.com, Google, I'm going to come up. If you've hit on an ad, you'll see everything I have done in video and promotion. AdRoll is huge.
Is that because you're pixeling them, basically?
If you touch on it, I have your email address, so that email address gets hit with AdRoll through retargeting. Retargeting is amazing. I probably have 25,000 names in retargeting.
Love it.
And every time they open a computer, even if it's a friend, they're like, damn, you've got to be spending a fortune on ads. I'm like, every time you open up your computer, you're just going to see me. So it keeps me top of mind, even on Zillow, Realtor.com. If you open up that page, I'm going to be on there too.
I love it. Dan, where's most of your business come from?
Most of ours comes from our past clients and things we do, relationship building within our community and people that we come in contact with. So, I think like most everybody else, there was a time we bought leads, and got a large percentage of our business that way. But the follow-up since then, we probably severed the tie, I would probably say, right around 4 or 5 years ago, from purchasing leads in general to taking that money and reinvesting it back into our community and to relationships with past clients. And that's a huge percentage of our business, if not all of it, just kind of touching base constantly with them, being plugged in, being plugged into what's going on around you at the same time.
What does that mean with your past clients? Give me a couple examples. What are some of the ways you invest in them?
Oh, a lot of it's, we do pop buys. One of our big events that we're going to do right now would be a pumpkin carving contest. So we drop off probably 250 pumpkins, something along that nature. And we have everybody do a pumpkin. They'll post it on our page. And then we'll draw winners, first, second, and third place winners for a pumpkin carving contest. It gets everybody involved. They get to submit their pumpkins online. Who doesn't like to see a cool, pumpkin that's a unique design? I think last year we had some really cool ones with like strobe lights inside of it that were flashing out. People got really creative, and it makes it fun. It makes a talking piece that everybody else can look at and gravitate toward. And who doesn't? That's it. Just trying to keep that coming back to you overall.
So I have never bought leads. No disrespect to anybody who has. I just always thought they were super expensive, and I was like, I don't want to do that. So because I didn't want to do that, I had to figure out, well, how do I want to reach people? How do I want to be out in the community? And I operate from my core values 100% of the time, and two of those core values are community and connection. And I believe, especially now more than ever, it's about connection and just reconnecting with people. So I have always networked, I've always done community work, served on boards, gotten involved with nonprofits, and really just done anything that made my heart happy. So, I mean, I used to be part of a running group where I would train to run marathons, which don't be impressed by that. It took me like 5 hours to run a marathon. I ran 4 of them in 5 hours. I mean, nobody should do anything for 5 hours, without a second medal. But anyway, but what I'm trying to say is I always have just figured out, just do what you love, and the business will come. And then I just make sure to stay in touch with people. I keep it simple, note cards, and I'm sure we're gonna touch on things as we get through the day, so I'll touch on that more later.
Love it. How about you, Amy?
So I'm very similar to Beth's style, but a majority of our business comes from our geographic farm as well as past clients. So those are our 2 biggest lead generators before COVID happened. Open house was another big one for us because you're meeting warm leads. And we really focus on our community, how we can give back, and if you are authentic in what you do, that will carry out in what you do. So if you like to surf, join surfing stuff. If you like to run, join a running group. If you're a mom, join mom groups. And you naturally create that network around you and that people want to work with you.
100%.
Yeah.
Can we talk a little more about that, because both of you have hit on it? We'll keep with you, Amy, and then I'd love to let Beth expand on it. When you join those groups, when do you talk about being a realtor? When do you not talk about being a realtor? How do you follow up with them? Give us some rules of thumb for how they should approach the groups that they like being parts of.
Well, if you have an interest, you're going to join, whatever that is. As something else you can do, and what I did in my community, I felt this need that I had small children, my kids weren't of school age yet, so why don't I start a neighborhood moms group? And our neighborhood moms group was only intended for moms with children under 5, because hey, once they go to school, you'll make new friends. But it's grown and grown and grown, and I mean, now we're like, hey, if you're a mom, a grandma, whatever, you can join our group, because you never know who's going to be watching the kids and need something to do or a play date nearby. So I think creating something of your own that you feel that the community needs, that fits your interests, is a great way to do that.
Where'd you create it? Specifically, you decide to create it. Is it a Facebook group? Is it an email thing? Is it a physical group? Where is it?
It is a Facebook group, and it has just grown organically through, like I mentioned earlier, we do a geographic farm. So hey, when I'm out door knocking about our new listing and a mom, or there's a stroller in the driveway, hey, did you hear about our moms group for the neighborhood? But it physically lives on Facebook. And then we do set up play dates and meetups and moms nights out.
Play dates, meetups, mom's nights out, and when does real estate come in, or does it not?
I think it just naturally comes into it because they see me around the neighborhood, they see my sign. I don't have to throw it out at them. It's like, hey, what do you do? Oh, okay, great.
So you're not wearing a name tag or ask me about real estate shirt, or coming to everything fully branded head to toe?
Oh my gosh. No.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think over time, I've just helped out and been in the community so much, and I also promote other people, other organizations. I support my community. If I go to a new restaurant, I support them. I promote them online. Just so I think, as you kind of get to know people, they get to know what you do, and I'm the last salesy person. If you know me, you know, this is me. I just, I don't even wear a name tag, which shame, I know I don't like to. So people just, when you have an introduction, they know that I'm a realtor, and then over time, I still get the business. I don't feel like I need to be like, I'm a realtor. Who do you know who wants to buy and sell real estate? Jesus Christ. I would never, sorry. If that's how you roll, God bless. I'm not gonna say those words. I just want to be there for people, not be pushy. I want them to know that they can trust me and that I care for them and that I have their back. And I think they keep coming back, so they know that I'm myself and I'll do that for them.
I love it. And one of the things that, before you go, Dan, that I love seeing Beth doing is how many people just appreciate how involved she is with the community, giving back to the community, just like actually caring about the city of Orlando and like the places in Orlando, the new businesses in Orlando, the restaurants in Orlando. Like it comes from a place of being passionate about the actual city. And I realize some of you live outside the city, but you can be passionate about your area, the general area, the greater Orlando area, and that fuels, is it not? All these things you're actually doing selflessly because you care about the area. You're not just like here to sell some houses.
Yeah, I want to see it grow and thrive. I mean, it's so hot in Florida, and I hate the heat. I would love, like every now and again, I'm like, I'd love to move to Denver, but I'm like, but there's work to be done here in Orlando. So I'm like, nobody moves. That's my motto with all my friends. I'm like, nobody moves. We're staying because now is the best time to be in Orlando because I feel like it's growing, it's thriving. And by the way, I say bad words sometimes, so I'll try to dial that back because I get excited and, well, I don't know, sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna mimic
cool.
exactly.
I cuss on stage. It's cool.
You know, both Amy and Beth both hit on like faith of authenticity. You know, when you come out and just naturally you want to help your community, help the city, help past client, it just comes off very easy to do and very easy to have that bond at that point in time. So like for us, we're big in our community. Most of you might not know where it's at. It's kind of like a hidden gem in East Orlando. 1,268 homes. Some 4 or 5 years ago, I made a spot on the board and I helped with like ARC, just helping. I don't come off as like, oh, by the way, I'm a realtor. It's the same what Beth was just saying. But little by little, it segues in. I'm years later, now I'm the president of the HOA, and we love to give back. We do, my wife runs a ton of just events, in the community. None of it, some of them things we might sponsor, like a Pictures with Santa type of thing, but many things, it's just our giving nature, giving back to make it a better place. We had a huge event not too long ago, and it was our first time ever doing something like that, where it was a cornhole tournament in the community. Everybody loved cornhole. I mean, I'm not the biggest cornhole player, but at the end of the day, people in the community loved it, and they just kept ranting and raving about how awesome it was and how much fun it was, and that's what it's all about, bringing everybody together, and then slowly, as you become friends with them, they'll friend you on Instagram or Facebook, and then they see like your content or video or so forth that you are a realtor, then it comes out naturally. And they're like, oh, I see you're a realtor. We've gotten quite a few clients even at our gym. We do, I know you're talking about running and so forth. We do CrossFit, so it's a big, just staying healthy in general, so that we've gotten, 4 or 5 transactions from people just at our gym, and it's just seeing them every day. At the 5 a.m., my wife goes at 5 a.m. I go a little later in the afternoon, so it's different groups of people.
Is that on purpose, or is that just coincidental?
She likes the early morning. I'm trying to segue into that 5 a.m. style. That's a tough one to do if everybody's not done it, but you just have to. Obviously, anybody in this business knows that your day just gets super busy.
So just what I'm hearing is if you're married and you're doing things together, you're actually missing out on a chance to double up your prospecting.
Yeah, and I think it's worked out for us.
We'll figure it. They'll adjust it, I promise.
But it just comes out every day. Small conversations lead to bigger conversations that says, hey, I see you're a realtor, I'm thinking about selling, and it's a segue from there.
Love it. Karen.
Okay, so anybody that knows me, you see I always have a black lab in all my pictures. Anyways, I love animals, especially black labs, and I give back to the community through Labrador Retriever Rescue. And I have a 3-year-old dog named Bear, and segueing off of that, he's become a therapy dog. And so we go to nursing homes, and we also go to schools. And therapy dogs, if you don't already know, they're animals that are out there for everybody else to enjoy. So they have a vest on, but we want you to touch them and pet them. It makes people feel good. So in both of those groups, we're out, promoting the animals, but we all have each other's email addresses. And then there again, in email, they're all going to get drips about real estate. But I never talk about real estate, but they know exactly what I do because I drip them and I retargeted them because I have about 400 names just from 2 groups.
Speaking of that, I have another question, but before I do, I just want to quickly get an answer from each of you. And if there's different places, you can name multiple places. How many people are in your database? So you have 400 getting retargeted. What about like your database? Give me an idea of what lists or databases you have and how many people are on them. And I'll just run down the line.
So just in the animal groups, I have 400 total through retargeting and dripping. I've got about 18,500.
Love it. How about your database, like your past clients, or when you mail postcards, or when you do emails?
850.
Love it. And how about you, Dan? You know, I know, I may stump you guys. I'm going to keep going down the line. Dan, you know how many you have?
Yeah, sorry. I wasn't sure you were talking to me.
Sorry, I'm going too fast.
I'd say 200 in our past clients and people that we stay in contact regularly that are on our list, and about 2,500 in our overall database that we keep in a funnel, keep trickling out, waiting to come through.
Only 200 people getting invited, is that right? Or is it 2,500?
Yeah, about 200, yeah.
Love it. How about you, Beth?
Hello. Okay, sorry. So I would say probably, we have different lists for different things, so probably total, maybe about 1,000. I do an event at the end of every year for Quest Incorporated, so there's a group for that. There's a realtor group that I hit, whenever I list a property. There's past clients, but I try to really drill down into my database and just make sure, like, these are people that I'm communicating with, I have one-on-ones with. So that might be a little high, but I try to just make sure I'm touching as many people as possible, like, face-to-face. So I don't think, like, a giant database is great, because then the question is, like, are you reaching out to these people? Are you having communications with them constantly, or are you just sending just random emails where everybody gets tons of emails all the time? So anyway, that was the long-winded, response.
Amy, how about you?
We have about a 2,800 home farm area that we mail to. In our actual database of people that we know, like, and trust is about 3,000 people. And we also do private events for our past clients, which is about 350 to 400 clients.
All right, let's just go to the next one, and then I'm going to come back and ask you guys about your client rotation. Let's try that again. How are you currently navigating, or how are you navigating the current market regarding COVID, competing against 20,000 plus agents, the lack of inventory, like all the scenarios now? I'll start on this end with you, Amy. What are you doing differently, and what are you doing to stay so consistent in such a crazy market?
I think you really touched on it with consistency. Like, let's keep doing the things that we have been doing and focus on the things that are working, and do those over and over. Of course, a lot of our business last year came from open house. However, that's not necessarily the case this year because of all the restraints on that from last year. So it is about consistency and doing the things in your systems over and over and over again, because people will begin to trust you with that.
All right, real quick for the panelists, so that these guys can get the mics better and they won't keep squeaking, you want to hold the mics close to your mouth. What he's doing is turning it up too loud because you guys are so far, and that's where the squeaking's coming from. So like Karen had it perfect right up there. Just want to throw that out there. He'll probably have to readjust because I just said that, but I just figured I'll tell you guys to make his life easier. And those of you on the Zoom, I promise you'll hear better soon. Keep going. Sorry. How are you navigating, Beth?
So, I keep everything really simple. So note cards are a big thing that I love, just because it makes me happy to actually write out cards to people and stay in touch with people. So as cheesy as that sounds, I literally send out note cards every single month. My entire database gets it. And because everybody knows I love coffee, every single card says, hey, I'd love to meet you for a coffee. Until then, have one on me. And I enclose like a gift card to Starbucks or Credo or a local place. And so many people post about it, or they'll contact me and say, hey, let's grab a drink, or let's go for lunch, or let's go for that coffee. And I just feel like little connections like that go a long way. Then if I'm looking on Facebook and I'm seeing people are having babies, I have a friend who hand makes baby clothes. So you're gonna get a gift from me. If somebody, like my friend, was diagnosed with cancer, I'm gonna check in every day. I'm gonna send you flowers. I'm gonna go, somebody gets out of the hospital, I'm gonna make you a lasagna. It's the only thing that I can really make. So that is what I will make you. So hopefully you like that. So it's like little things like that. It's paying attention and just it's that connection piece that I'm passionate about. And I just want to make sure that people know that I care about them, that they're not just a number, that they're not just a deal closed. So it's as simple as note cards. What else? I'm trying to think. I don't even remember the question now. I'm sorry.
That's about it.
All right.
I'll just keep segueing right into it because I think that you.
I know,
We always like to say like life leaves you clues. So it's when you're talking about like you're looking at people that are putting out there a graduation, a birthday, a baby, whatever the case may be, and my wife Tannen actually out here, she does a lot of the note cards, much of what you do, and I think she does a great job out of it. So I want to share two cool stories about that, so I don't repeat the same thing that you just said. But we do that all the time. We do Publix gift cards. She'll write a hand note on it. We had one story last year where somebody put on our Facebook group about only having all the mail from the election stuff, all this garbage, junk mail, spam mail in your mailbox. And so Tannen wrote this card out that said, hey, I just wanted you to have something different besides junk mail. And he posted on the Facebook page, talked about how it truly made him laugh out loud, and ultimately is awesome. That turned into right about $1 million in closed transaction, not just 30 days later. And another great story was some friends of ours had adopted 2 children, and we sent them out a card, and once again, that turned into about the same thing, right about $1 million in closed transactions. But just looking for those clues and then just capitalizing on them. Everybody's on their Facebook or Instagram. You see these people post this, a grandbaby, just went to the military, just a birthday, whatever the case may be, a huge life accomplishment, just finished their first marathon maybe. And capitalize on that and shoot them a little note, shoot them a little gift card in there.
Especially now with COVID and everything, like people have died from in this situation. So of course, like I'm reaching out to people, sympathy cards. I mean, people are going through a lot. It's a really rough time for people, and little things like a note cards, while you might think, oh, that's a waste of time. Closer, sorry. It's really not. People are looking for deep connection right now. People are scared. People are just trying to hold it together. We're all just trying to hold it together and like make it seem like everything is okay. So little things go a long way right now.
And everyone has a birthday, so you can
Yes.
send a birthday card. They don't need to have a life event.
And by the way, a birthday card is 1 billion times better than a post on their wall on Facebook. As well as, I'm just going to throw a little tip out there. If you're posting your self-promotion on their wall on Facebook, you should slap yourself real quick, because you look stupid saying, happy birthday from my company and my business that I want everyone to see today. It's like the least sincere thing you could possibly do. Just going to throw that little tip out there. But also sending people birthday messages that aren't good, that are going to not cut through the clutter. Like if you send a card in the mail, you might be one of 2, 3, 4 people that get a birthday message. If you post on their wall, you're probably one of 600, and they're not even going to get a notification. They're not going to scroll through it. It takes a lot of effort to see 600. You might still not get them. So just a little thought there that
And I have something to add to that too. So to your point, like a self-promotion thing, I do things, I market to people the way that I want to be marketed to. So if you're about to do something, ask yourself, would this annoy the hell out of me? Would this make me want to like never talk to this person again? Then don't do it. That's a good rule of thumb. I just do it the way I would like to see things.
absolutely, that's like a golden nugget right there. Also, one other thing I'm going to share, since we're talking about it, since you mentioned using social media. If you use, we've talked about this a bunch of times at Masterclass, but every time someone tells me this is their biggest takeaway, so I'm going to share it. The search bar, if you use the search bar and just type in my friends who blank, you name the thing, it will reorganize your whole list. So if I put in my friends who work at Mainframe Real Estate, it'll give me just Sean and John's team. If I put in my friends who work at blank, my friends who are recently engaged, my friends who live in Altamont Springs, my friends who live in Dallas because I'm traveling there, whatever you want, it will actually reorganize your friends list and give you a new list of just the people that match that. So if you want to reach out to people, my friends with birthdays in October might be a good way to start over the next few weeks. My friends with birthdays in September might be a good one too. But that's what you could be using your social media for, to reorganize the recon so you're not just aimlessly scrolling and hoping the algorithm serves you up the right stuff. Let's keep going. We were at, I don't even remember what question. How are we navigating this? Did everyone answer? Did you get the answer yet? How are you navigating the current
Last
difficult
but
market?
not least, so postcards, I do those 6 times a year. I'm sure you all are still doing that. And then I will follow up with spin the phone, and it lands on somebody, and I'm like, damn it, I hate that client, but I'm going to call them. It was the worst transaction ever. And I'm like, hey, it's Karen. It's easy. It's COVID. Just want to see how your family's doing this year with everything going on. I know it's crazy, but just wanted to touch base. And even the clients that hated me are like, oh, wow, that's nice you called. They forget about some painstaking, nasty thing that happened in the transaction, and they seem to love you after you get the paycheck 6 months later. So I spin the phone, see who shows up, and I just call when I'm driving, and just that's the way I call my sphere. Aimlessly, I guess.
Love it. What do you say?
Kind of challenging.
What do you say, though? Like, you randomly call someone in your sphere. Can you kind of role play with me? Like, what would you say? You randomly decide, hey, I'm going to call Dan. It's been a while since I called Dan. What do you say?
Sometimes I'll say, hey, I'm in your neighborhood, and I went by your old house, and it really looks beautiful outside, and it made me think of you, and just wanted to let you know the new owners are really taking great care of it from the outside. Just a conversation starter. Or, about health. How are you doing this year? So much is going on in the world. I think people want to know that you care about them, just see how they're feeling and doing, since so many people were touched by this pandemic. So,
Are you asking them whether they know anyone that is looking to buy or sell real estate?
if I haven't talked to them in a while, I don't say anything about real estate. No, they'll naturally say, hey, I see you're killing it. And then I'll say, oh, thanks, But I will never ask them if I don't deserve that on a first call. If I've had 3 or 4 conversations, I will, but not on the first time.
My favorite question that I like to ask is, who do you know that's looking to buy or sell in the next 30 days? Because it's basically like saying, who do you know that wants to buy my stuff right now? It's like, I don't know. If I knew that, I'd be in your business, right? I always laugh because I sold knives all through college, and I sold a lot of knives, $1 million in knives. And if I had said, who do you know that wants to buy a set of knives today? You would have been like, I don't know anybody. I would be at 0 right now. So I just thought a lot of you guys are asking the wrong questions. Let's talk about your client, what you do with your sphere. How do you keep in touch with your sphere? What are you sending them? What's it look like? And what types of events, if you do events, are you doing for them? I'll stick with you, Karen.
Events, usually I have a client party once a year, and then I invite the top 100 clients to my home, do a nice dinner, have a band and cocktails. Usually 100, 110 people show up, but with COVID, haven't done that in 2 years. So I do the proverbial letter of the heart maybe 4 times a year, and I send it out and tell people what's going on in my life, and then I'll follow up with them and say, hey, did you get my letter? How are you all doing? It's just easy to talk about them once they got a letter from you. It's a nice opening. And then typically people send Christmas cards, and I do that, but lately I've been doing Thanksgiving cards because my Christmas cards go in a deep stack with everybody else's. And
so just to be clear, what I'm hearing is that you're mailing to them, but you're not waiting for them to call you because of the mail. You're mailing to them and just using that touch and then reaching out yourself.
Correct. Right? Once they get something from me, I'll pick up the phone.
Hopefully you guys got that nugget. Sorry to interrupt. What was the other thing you do that you
As
sent?
much as I hate the phone, it's like a dead weight, but I got to get in the mood to call. You got to be in the right mind frame to call. And I know it's brutal. Don't tell me you call your sphere every day, because nobody in here isn't, because I know it's like a lead weight to pick up the phone. It's like, what am I going to say to these people? Well, hell, you just, we're in the most intimate transaction with them of their largest asset, and you can't pick up the phone and call them. I know it's hard, because it's hard for me. But when I send out that letter of heart, it kind of is a conversation starter. And then Thanksgiving, I'm going to be doing Happy Thanksgiving. I'm grateful for your business, especially if they referred me clients. I'll drop $20 Chick-fil-A or a coffee card from Starbucks. Just thank you for thinking of me on referrals and on Thanksgiving. I think it's a better opportunity than Christmas or holidays.
Love it. So you're sending them letters, you're following up with calls, you're just basically staying top of mind and staying in touch with them, and then you're retargeting people online, and that's making up a majority of your business. Is that fair?
Correct. That's the majority of it. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. Dan, what do you do with your past clients? I know you guys host some parties and events and things like that.
We did. We actually had a huge, our first big one we were going to do right before COVID happened, literally like right as COVID. We had rented an entire theater out, had a whole day kind of thing planned into it where everybody's going to come in, have a few minutes to kind of hang out and talk about, what's been going on in their life and so forth, and obviously see a movie, and it was set up, but then a COVID hit and shut down that whole idea. I think what we're actually talking about a little last night and this morning was hosting a party at our private residence and have people come there as well that are in our space. But we've already kind of hit on it. We touch base, a lot of anniversary cards and birthday cards, much like you were hitting on already. Usually most of our clients, that when they get those in the mail, they'll post them on Facebook, tagging us in it. Thank you so much for remembering. I can't believe it's already been a year, 2 years, 5 years, whatever it's been. And that starts that conversation, much like you were saying, starts that conversation to kind of like, oh, hey, I'm so glad. So.
You can keep going. Yeah.
I keep going.
So has anybody here ever been to Maxine's on Shine?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so my husband and I and some of our friends, we are now known as the Brunch Bunch. We go pretty much every Sunday, or as many Sundays as we can go. And over time, years ago, like probably, I guess 7 or 10 years ago, she's been around for a long time now, I decided to have my client appreciation party there. And so had my party, my first one, several years ago, and I had all of my Beth Hobart red mugs, and I had extras, and because I was giving them to clients, and she's like, well, we can just serve coffee out of them. I'll just use them in the restaurant. And I was like, I was thinking to myself, shut your face. Like, that is amazing. So I was like, yes, let's do that. And then over time, she's just like, whenever you have another shipment, just bring them over. And she's been having my mugs, and now we're doing some cross-branding, but I mean, it all started from just doing a client appreciation, hosting an event there. And now, the reason why I love Maxine and Kurt, the owners, so much are because they align with the same values I have. And all throughout COVID, they were very careful with how they handled their restaurant. They also converted their parking lot into open seating, outside seating. So, so I probably will be doing an event there for my client appreciation night because we've got the outdoor space. But again, like that, all it took was just promoting her restaurant, going to brunch, a client appreciation, and now we've got cross-marketing, and I've got like a community partner that I just love so much. And she's,
awesome.
They're dear friends of mine.
They do an awesome job. Everyone loves them. By the way, if you guys are looking to co-brand some stuff or you need things like mugs, you should, Christina, raise your hand. You should meet Christina in the corner at the end. She runs our team at Orlando Branding, and we can brand anything. So just a little side note for anyone that just got a nugget. But let's keep going. What else are you doing what are you doing, Amy, with your sphere?
Well, if you know Colin and I, we like to party. So we actually do a lot of events. We have community events, which we switched during COVID. So this might be a good idea for you, Dan. We threw a really big movie theater, I'm a mom, so Frozen 2 event. We packed out all of Aloma Cinema Grill. And it was super fun, and we're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna do this again, and COVID hit. Something else we did for the community, we did food trucks on the fairway at a private golf course over at Winter Pines Golf Club in our farm area. And since COVID hit, food trucks were shut down. What do? People don't want to get together, so we started hosting drive-in movie night in their parking lot. So we're doing that 4 times a year. For our past clients, we have a private happy hour that we do once a quarter, and our last one was at Ravenous Pig. About 30 to 40 people showed up, so we thought that was a great turnout, especially with everybody's different comfort zones. We got really well known in the community for our Santa in the Park event. And since our logo and branding has everything to do with pineapples, we celebrate National Pineapple Day with all of our past clients. And we come up with a fun event. Dan mentioned earlier his pumpkin carving. So what we did this year is we sent out sugar cookies in the shape of pineapples with decorations that they could use, and we ran a competition who could decorate their cookies. And they were all different, like the ugliest cookie, the best decorated, the most creative, and it was a lot of fun.
Nobody wants to get the ugliest cookie award.
If you need a judge in the cookie contest next year.
And then we also do for our past clients, that 4th event is Pie Day. So they could come to the park. They've pre-ordered a pie. We just get to connect with them, have a drink with them.
Is it on March 14th, or is it just a Pie Day?
Say that again?
Is it on March 14th, or is it just a Pie Day in general?
Oh, it's not. It's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving that they come pick it up.
That makes even more sense.
Yep.
Figured I'd specify.
Yeah, once a quarter. So we try to hit every season to do something fun with our past clients, and then the community events are for everyone in our sphere and database.
You hit on something really big. We do a lot in our community. Just reminded me that we do a national night out. If anybody partakes in that?
I'm doing that.
So yeah, we'll do. I guess it'll be our third or fourth one, I think, this year that we've done. We didn't do it last year, but obviously the national night out. If any of you don't know about it, you get a permit through. If you're in Orange County, you do a permit. You block down the road. You got to get everybody to sign off on it, and just get to know your neighbors. You'd be so surprised that how many people live so close to each other, but yet don't really know each other all that well. And even for us, we're big in our community. But we had people around the corner. It was like 3 houses down. Like, I've never seen you before. Like, you must pull right into your garage, shut the door, and that was it. But you bring them out. You end up having, common ground that you both share a certain idea, vision, whatever it may be. But we block the road. The kids can play in the street. And we usually grill burgers or dogs or have it catered by, I think we did 4 Rivers one year as well. And us too, we did bring in, when COVID happened, we brought in food trucks too. We're in a very rural side of town. We don't have a lot of restaurants. We got fast food, pretty much is all of our only choice. So we brought in food trucks every other weekend was kind of like been our scale that we've done, and it's been a huge hit. Now we've had other food trucks ask us, can we come into your community as well? Because it's a huge 1,268 homes, a lot of people. We push it off as, hey, don't cook dinner tonight. Come on down to the clubhouse, buy one for lunch, get a second for dinner, and take it home from there.
How about your team members? Because I've seen your team members doing their neighborhoods too. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we do. There's a bunch of things. Another one that we've done before to stay in touch of is a shred event. We do a shred in our community. It started off right after tax time. Everybody comes, bring down your stuff, shred up that stuff as you clean up your house. Then it coincides with our community garage sale. We brought in a second truck to take all the items that you didn't sell at your garage sale to then donate to the mustard seed or anybody else. If you just want to get rid of it, at the end of the day, and nobody wants to buy your garbage, you gotta give it to somebody else. So those were 2 big events, and we had another one across town with one of our teammates here in the audience, and Jeanette, we see you over there. But another shred event across town, just trying to capitalize. We have a huge database too on the west side of town, not just the east, and that shred event honestly was it's huge. It's huge for us. We got to shred our own documents, let alone everybody else. Yeah. Now we get people going, I just missed it. When is your next one? Next year. So it's tough to do, but people really do enjoy it.
I want to invite to that one.
So, sorry.
No, I was just telling them I want to be invited. Keep going, Beth.
Oh,
so,
yes, you will.
Another thing I wanted to share too, when the pandemic started, I started a Facebook group of all my clients that were on Facebook, a closed group. Nobody is selling to them. It's just basically like all information that they can use. So I would interview lenders, inspectors, just pretty much anybody that would be helpful in that moment. And then I was looking at my clients that were part of that group and realized I have some public figures that I've worked with that are also beneficial for everybody to know that are in the group. So now it's just like kind of like, it's a good way to stay in touch with people. It's a good way to make announcements about what these people are doing in the community. And then also, because everybody knows me for coffee, it's called the Red Mug Club. You'll never find it because it's a closed group. But now I'm making that into an event where I can meet people for coffee over at Credo, because that's where all of the coffee that go in my buyer bags, that's a whole other story, but I've got these special made bags from Haiti, and I put coffee in mugs and all sorts of stuff. So that directly helps Credo, if you've never been. They're amazing. North Quarter, right next to Mainframe, basically. But so anyway, it's just like all ideas, but it's always tied back to community and connection. So anyway, the group thing isn't just an idea, hopefully a nugget for you.
Since you mentioned it, I want to mention, I don't know the exact number, but the proceeds from today's event went to help Angel Wings International, which was the first permanent medical clinic built in Haiti. It was actually built by a bunch of my friends from Cutco that donated all the money. So it's really cool. It's been there for a few years, and they basically help people after the hurricane and everything else. So today's event raised at least $800, maybe upwards of $1,000. Can you guys give yourselves a round of applause? Just thought I'd mention that. Go ahead, Amy. How about you? Client party? That's what we're on, right? This way. Oh, no, this way. Sorry. Going the wrong way. My bad.
We already did that.
Did you already go?
Oh, we got all of them. All right.
We came back.
Let's go to my next question. I've been wondering this for a while. I've been holding this pink card. How much do you spend in marketing, client appreciation, gift cards, things like that? Maybe give us a total, or maybe give us an idea of like, when I do a client appreciation event, we spend about this, or we partner with a lender, or tell me about your costs.
That's pretty easy. Just did my taxes. The deadline was September 15th. I'm late to everything. $250,000 total. But my gross revenue is like 820 so far. So if you run the numbers by the end of the year, it should be about 20%.
Love it.
We do about $5,000 total. I think that's between gift cards and shred event and all the things that we do.
By the way, if you guys are in the room talking, I promise you we can hear you up front. If you're upstairs, if you're in the back, doesn't matter where you are, it echoes. And Dan's going to share some goods right now.
Yeah, we do. So it's we spend those monies on those types of platforms, and it generates a lot of talk and a lot of energy and a lot of when's the next one? Keep coming back for more. So about $5,000.
About $5,000. Do you have anyone else helping? Do you have your vendors? Is it just you?
Just us. We just do us only, and we should probably divvy it up to some degree. Find a way to do bigger and better events overall, but we quite haven't got there. But we're satisfied with what it is that we do currently, and keep it close and tight.
Do you use photographers or videographers or anyone else to help support that?
We
event?
do. We've got some great people. Some are here in the audience as well. Marlon, he does a lot here too with you, and Shay as well, who helps us out with best looking pictures and videos and content to produce out there. We got some great stuff getting ready to come out too soon, so stay tuned for what's coming.
Since we're talking about it, I'm going to shout out a few people that you guys should know, and I have to raise their hand. Ariel, raise your hand. There's Ariel, shoots a lot of our event photography. She's awesome. We got Dave Stewart's team with Dave Stewart Productions. They're the ones running the 4 cameras every time, and he plays the sax at some of our parties. We've got Jocelyn Espejo, who also does branding photography. We've got Shay, who spoke earlier. I don't know where she is, but she's here somewhere, I'm sure. And then Marlon Mora with Hatfellow Productions is probably run around too. If you need a videographer, a photographer, or any of the above, the best of the best are in this room, so just make sure you connect with them, or some of the best of the best.
Highly recommend for sure, and they do great stuff. We just shot a video recently with Marlon, and hands down, I thought it was going to look like garbage, and I was like, holy cow, this thing looks great.
Awesome. So let's talk about what you spend, Beth.
So probably around 5,000 when all is said and done. I don't have sponsors. I don't want to be sold to. I don't want to sell to my clients. I just want them to come, drink, listen to music, eat some good food. So I just handle that. And really, if you think about it, you get one sale, you're making that money back. So who cares? It's always big picture that I'm looking at. So I don't mind spending that money. It's a lot of fun. I get to reconnect and see people, and it's always a good time I look forward to.
Love it.
Are we talking about all of marketing or just events?
What do you, in general,
Events.
what do you spend on marketing to your clients and marketing? Give us an idea of what things you spend money on in marketing and what you spend. That's
Gotcha.
probably a better way of that.
A way that we market, our 2 biggest thing are community events as well as postcards, mailers. So that's why I was kind of asking that question. And I would say we probably spend under $10,000 a year, and that's with one big event almost every month because we're touching everybody in our database or community or past client. We do have sponsors, so I would say it might even be less than that. And a lot of our sponsors are silent partners. They don't even want to come to the event. They just want to come and support us because we give them so much business that they're just happy to support us. So it doesn't have to be annoying or in your face. We obviously always invite them. And a lot of times, like with our drive-in movie, we've pushed back out. Now we're doing movie on the fairway. So people are getting back out there and don't have to sit in their car. But some of our lenders or a sponsor that we use all the time, they'll bring something fun to the event. So this Saturday, we're hosting Trolls World Tour on the golf course. So one of our sponsors is bringing all the glow sticks and glow rings and lights that you can imagine. It's going to be like a kid glow party bopping around on this dark golf course and watching a movie. So your sponsors can be part of it and not part of it at the same time. It's kind of whatever you feel is the need for that event.
Let me ask you a question or two, and I'll stay with you, Amy. And if anyone wants to jump in on this one too, you can. But if it's redundant, you don't have to. With these community events, do you do a Facebook ad? Do you use an Eventbrite link? Do you have a Facebook event? Do you do an email list? How do you physically set up the actual event? And can you just walk us through the planning and promotion, I guess?
Okay, well, to start from the beginning, we do have and I think someone mentioned, everything doesn't have to be real estate all the time. So we send a really fun Friday email out every Friday. So about a month before the event, we create the Eventbrite where we can capture anyone's information that RSVPs for the event. You know, it's important for us to follow CDC guidelines, for us to stay in touch with you. We also put it on we have a private group like Beth has we call it our Pineapple Perkers. We push it there first, whatever event that we're doing, whether it's a community event or a Traeger grill that we're giving away for football season. And then the following week, we open it up to our database and the community, and we promote it on Facebook and Instagram, but everything is through Eventbrite, so we can capture those RSVPs. Then we do a big push the week before, because that's when most people RSVP anyways. And then we follow up with everyone that has RSVP'd 3 days before the event and say, thank you for registering. We're looking forward to seeing you. If you are not going to be able to make it to the event, let us know, because sometimes we have limitations. Like with the drive-in movie, we only had 100 parking spots. So we start a wait list for that. And after the event, I personally call everyone that came to the event, thank them for coming. I ask them for feedback on our next event and look forward to seeing them around the community. And so I'm not asking for the business, but they see that I'm involved in the community and want to give back.
All right, let's keep going. I want to hear about yours, Beth, because we're already there. You might as well keep telling us, how do you do your event? How do you plan it out?
So we basically just go through our database and send it out to everybody. We use just evites, just keep it simple. And then we always need a head count because it's a restaurant. And then I always hire Macbeth Studio, which is my husband's company, because he's the best, and he does, we have a photo booth so people can take pictures. Usually there's like a theme behind it, so that way when you're taking your picture, you could put it on a holiday card if you wanted to. But really, I keep everything I do simple, because that's how my brain works. So, but one of the things I also wanted to bring up too, because you were asking, I think, Aaron, about like costs and things like that. Some other marketing that I do is also, I was trying to figure out what I could do for buyers and sellers that would have the most impact by giving them a gift, at closing. And so I got with a nonprofit that I work with a lot called Rebuild Globally. They help people in Haiti out of poverty through education and job creation. And they have a social entrepreneurship model, which they have a business arm of their nonprofit where they put people through a job program, teach them a skill, and pay them a good living wage. Because in Haiti, you can't send your kids to school without paying for it. So a lot of kids end up on the street, and it just perpetuates that cycle of poverty. So I spoke with them. They made a bag for me. We went back and forth. We went to Haiti, shot a video, and we have a great bag that not only is filled with things that could be recyclable or reused. My my mug is in there. There's coffee from Credo, there's cleaning supplies, things of that nature. But that also has impact too with people, and I'm able to give 2 people in Haiti a job every time, create those bags and do another order. So it's just another way to just kind of, I just wanted to include that in case I was gonna forget, because I get nervous and then I forget to tell people things. And I know that she was trying to flag me down.
Love it.
Oh yeah, and one more thing, and I had a local artist create artwork on the front of the bag, so that gave them business and promoted them too.
Love
anyway,
it.
Sorry.
Hey, I'm trying. I talk too loud, so I got to hold this really far, like you guys were. I'll tell you guys what we do. We plan events because you guys are all here, so it worked, at least for you. We use Eventbrite for literally everything, but the biggest takeaways that I would give everyone is to make sure you're collecting every single attendee's email and cell phone number. You should require both of them, because if you're only blasting through email, a lot of your stuff's getting sent to spam, promotions tabs, things like that. So there are people like, hey, I didn't get the Zoom link. It's because it's in your spam. But so what we do with every event, how many of you guys, raise your hand if you got a text from Orlando Real Producers this morning? Okay, so just a little side note, use a texting system and an email system, and then you can also send directly through Eventbrite if you really want to over promote it. So I don't send you guys that many emails. I kind of feel like you might as well get the text or the email, but if I was like really worried this room wouldn't fill, I would probably personally put everyone in a BCC from my email, some kind of not remember the event, here's a few reminders for the event. That's a golden nugget most of you probably didn't catch was a golden nugget. Don't remind people about your event, remind them for your event. You should assume they're coming and they wouldn't forget. You should send them, hey, a couple quick reminders for Thursday's party. Make sure you bring blank, blank, and blank, and here's what you should know, and here's where parking is, or whatever. Don't say, don't forget about our party, because everyone should know. No one should ever want to forget, because your party's awesome. Does that make sense? So capture their emails, capture their cell phones, and then make sure you're sending out reminders in any ways you can. So if you have a Facebook group, like you guys will notice, we post it in the Facebook group. We have a Facebook group for just our partners. It gets posted in there too. We text it out to everybody, and we email it to everyone. So I'm like, if you didn't know about Masterclass, it ain't my fault. Does that make sense? And so you should pull out all the stops when it comes to your client appreciation party. Don't annoy everybody, like send them 10 emails, but use multiple medians to get the message out, and don't assume that everyone checked their voicemail or checked their email or checked their physical mail or checked the Facebook or got Facebook event invites. Like half the people never see those. I don't know if you guys have noticed. And also the RSVP number is a horrible way to figure out how many are coming. You can have 180 people and none of them come, or you could have 180 people and 400 come. It's just not, people don't take that seriously. They just click the button and they move on. They don't say like, oh my God, everyone's expecting me to be there. I clicked this thing on Facebook. Does that make sense? So collect all their info. Don't trust Facebook on it. Use multiple medians. Use all of them, and text reminders about or for the event, not about the event.
And also, to Amy's point, follow up afterwards and make sure you call everybody, ask, thank them for coming, ask for feedback, because it's just going to make your event better the next year.
And speaking on the text, I did forget, we do that too for our past clients to invite them to the community event. And I use a app called Reach. It's $5 a month. I mean, don't break the bank on it. And every time we have a closing, I add their phone number to our Pineapple Perker list on there. And so we do the week before they get the text for the event.
Love it. I'm going to give you guys another recommendation of another system, but it's not $5. It's definitely more expensive. It's called Texting Base, and I'll even give you a link that gives you a discount code on it because they've been one of our supporters since day one. It's bit.ly/texting base. The T and the B are capitalized. It won't work otherwise. bit.ly/texting base. And the reason you may like it, hers may be just cheaper and easier for you, but the reason you like it is it texts from a 10-digit number that's only yours. So I have an actual phone number. You probably have it. In fact, you should write this number down because in a second I'm going to give out tickets to the Winter Park Wine Walk to people that text this number. So write this number down. It's 407-505-5194. That's 407-505-5194. If you text that number, your name, I don't need your phone number because it's coming from your phone number, your name, your company, and your email. Your name, your company, and your email to 407-505-5194. I'll give out, Bryce, you're going to hate me. I'm going to give out 5 tickets to the Winter Park Wine Walk, 5 separate tickets. It's 1 ticket per person, right? But I'm going to give 5 tickets to the Winter Park Wine Walk to 5 people that text that number. So it's 407-505-5194. Give me your name, give me your company, give me your email. I've got your cell phone. Text that number. I should have said an autoresponder, but we didn't do that today. But just text me your info. I'll give out some tickets. Bryce will get them to you. And texting base is dope because you can mass text, but it gets one-to-one responses. So when you guys text me back your question to ask the panelists, I actually get that question instead of everyone getting it or you getting a message back that's like, this number's not in service. So just a little side note. I don't even know where we were with which question, to be honest. I got more questions, though, if you guys want to go. Yeah, event planning. Anyone else want to go through event planning or promotion?
So our planning, we do, we're big in our community, so we have a community Facebook page. We don't own it personally, but we do a lot of people that are on that one, so we'll run it that way. We also use Constant Contacts. That's a great way to track analytics to see who is opening them up and ultimately what they're keying on. So we do like a monthly, not a monthly mailer, it's a monthly mailer that we do, and we included this round was magical dining, a little bit of content overall. But we do it, like I said, Facebook, Instagram, Remind. I know in the past we have done personalized text, which was daunting, so texting base would make way more sense at the end of the day. than sending out some 200 personal text
Oh yeah,
messages to everybody.
and you could sit like the same way your email can plug in their info. I can plug that in. So I'll give you an example. There's only some of you on that list. How many of you guys got a text to start this year that said, "Welcome, you're in the top 500 agents in Orlando"? It sends it to everyone, and when they text us back with ranking, our team actually texts them back like, "You rank number 57," or whatever. So we answer. We actually respond. I have a team on it, but within 48 hours, we get messages from 275 of the top 500 agents. So we literally know that we have like a, I don't know, 60%, 70%, 80% response rate just in the first 48 hours. So I'm telling you, like using the text. Also, Jotforms. I'll give you guys another tip. Jotforms or any other form system. We use Jotforms. You could use Google Forms. You could also use like Wufoo or one of those. But when we text out like 35 under 35, we've done 3 years where we have to organize 35 people's info, 35 people's pictures, 35 people's photo shoot. It's a lot. So we text out everything. We mass text the group. They get a text. Kiosha's gotten it before. They get a text that says, "Look, if you don't fill this out, you're not going to get it. If you don't fill this out, you're not going to get a magazine that you're in. If you don't apply here, you're not going to be in it." Like, it's pretty simple, but they get a text on their phone, and then we confirm it by emailing and running a Facebook group and saying, "Did you get my text?" So those of you that are in our top 500 or any of our groups, once in a while, we'll post, "Who got my text today?" And if people say, "I didn't get your text," my team's in there fixing it to make sure, "Oh, Tana's not on it for some reason. Let's fix it." But usually I get 100 people saying, "Yes, I got your text," and that pushes it up with the algorithm so everyone sees that message, and then everyone can tell me, like, "Did you get the text or not?" And if you didn't, I've given you a lot of chances to tell me you're not getting our stuff. Does that make sense? Everyone follow that? All right, I got one more question for the panelists. I know we kind of stopped there, but I got one more. We're running out of time. By the way, who here's learned something from the panelists so far? Let's give them a giant round of applause. I'm still going to ask them one more question, but definitely make sure you stick around, grab some food. The bartenders will be there, and I promise you we'll have some fun. So here's what I'd like to know. Oh, man, between these 3 questions. Actually, I'll ask 2 of them. I'm going to ask one question. You can just do a yes or no. I'll go down the line. I want to know which of you have a coach, and then I'll ask the last question. Which of you have a coach? Coach?
No, but I'm getting one.
No coach, getting one, and coach? Okay, so all of them have or are getting a coach. There's that one. If you had more time than you had funds, what would be the #1 marketing strategy or activity you'd spend your time on? If you had more time and less funds, what would you spend your time on?
Everything with the community. We've already bent on it already, and that's relationships. I think that we've had. I was actually going to add to the last one as far as Facebook groups and so forth. We do old school just as easy within our community. If it's a community style event, we might go door to door and putting in that effort to go and make that relationship. What's easier than having a conversation with a neighbor when you knock on your door and you're like, "Hey, do you want to buy or sell?" Like everybody's already kind of said, nobody wants to do that. But if you're saying, "Hey, maybe you don't know about this," not everybody's on Facebook, not everybody's on a platform or even checks their email because it might go to spam. So traditional old door knocking, "Hey, maybe you know me, maybe you don't, but here's the thing that's going to be coming up. Thought you might be interested," is definitely a way that we like to go about it.
Yeah, I'm going to say note cards. It's like the easiest thing ever. And I built my business on it, and I closed $30 million last year. So there you go. I mean, it's simple. It's just paying attention and connecting with people. A coffee, depending on where you go, coffee's cheap. But, like just connecting with people and meeting up with people and getting out there and just being seen and promoting other people, lifting other people up. And is really the best way that you can help yourself too, by helping others and just being out there and really identify what your core thank you Tannen, she clapped, and really identify what your core values are. What is your why? Why are you here? Why are you marketing? Like, how are you marketing yourself and your property? Listen to me. There's where my mind is. But I know, I don't even know why I said that. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm like, oh, I gotta go to work now. But anyway, I know that my core values are growth, connection, community, health, and I wrote it down. Oh, and excellence. Sorry, I knew I would get nervous and forget. And those things drive everything I do. Every post on social media, every time I make a decision about advertising, every time I talk to a client, identify your core values, find out your why, what matters to you, be yourself. Don't look at other people on social media. It's a bunch of BS, and you know as well as I do. Don't scroll social media. Just post there and leave it. and just and just be yourself.
I'm gonna add a tip for everyone. Think of that. This doesn't work on your cell phone, so don't all tell me this doesn't. How do I get on my phone? It is only on your desktop. But how do you stop scrolling when you're at your computer at your desktop? Does anyone know? I'm gonna save you guys hundreds of hours right now. I promise you. It saved me thousands probably in the last 7 years. It's called Newsfeed Eradicator. It's a Chrome extension. You download it. It will eradicate your entire news feed. There won't be a news feed. It will just replace it with a motivational quote every day. So you can do everything. You can go to someone's page, but what doesn't happen is people just showing up and distracting me. So if I want to go to Blake's page, I type it in, but Blake doesn't show up on my wall. Phones, it still works, but it will save you a lot of time. It's called Newsfeed Eradicator. I just had to throw it out there because someone's going to say that was a nugget for him.
I'm going to echo both Dan and Beth. I would say get out there, start door knocking. I door knocked with the ugliest flyer my very first time, and that's okay. I still have a copy of it in my office. Just as a reminder of it's okay. In Keller Williams, they have a saying, feel the fear and do it anyways. It's so easy to go out and meet a neighbor. And to Beth's point, I always come from a place of contribution. What am I doing on your doorstep? Am I really selling real estate, or am I just building a connection with you? And so if I can invite you to an event or let you know what our next big charity is that we're going to be collecting cans of food for, that's all I'm there to do. I'm not there to sell you.
One of my best friends always, like, whenever I have a problem and like I ask her for advice, she always like says to me, what can I do to support you right now? So I always think that whenever I'm talking to people, I'm just like, okay, what can I do to support this person? And I think that's such a beautiful thing to say to somebody. In any situation, like most of us, we don't know what to say when people lose a loved one or are in a tough situation. But if you just say, how can I support you right now? People, such a beautiful thing to be asked. So always come from that place and from a place where you just want to help.
I'm going to add one thing to that, too. When Beth sends those cards, I know this because I've received ones, they're not branded. They're not branded. They're actually personal cards. Like, they're actually a card. She would never say, get better soon from Beth Hobart, the Realtor, right? Like, it's an actual personal card that when you read it, there wasn't any other agenda.
Oh my God, the only ones that are branded are like my coffee cards, anniversary cards, like stuff like that. But I would never, like, if it's a sympathy card, are you kidding me? Like, I would never send anything with my branding or my card. Like, don't put your card in there too. Obviously, you're just sending, a note to somebody. So, yes, good point.
Thank you. I'm going to mention two more things. One is that if you would like to take your clients on either a wine walk or a foodie tour around town, we have a partner over here, Bryce Morrison, you guys should meet with the hat on. Bryce is doing private, right? Basically doing like party bus tours and whatnot for the holidays for some of you. So if you guys want to take your clients on like a party bus, Winter Park Wine Walk, Winter Garden Temptation Trek, make sure you connect with Bryce. If you want to win a ticket to the Winter Park Wine Walk or the Winter Garden Temptation Trek, make sure you've texted 407-505-5194 with your name, your company, and your email. And I'll do one more thing. I'll throw in one more extra thing. If you text that phone number, one type of vendor you want to meet, one vendor or affiliate you need, like something you've been looking for. You need a blank, you need an inspector, you need a roofer, you need a whatever. Just text what you need, and my team will do our best to connect you with someone that does what you're looking for. And if you send us that, I'll also put you into a raffle I'll do another 3 tickets to the Winter Park Wine Walk, so it's 8 tickets total, giving them out to somebody, 407-505-5194. You probably have a text from me already, and if you don't, you probably typed your phone number in wrong when you signed up. So, how many of you guys learned something from these panelists? If you did, make some noise. Next month's session, October 21st, you probably want to pull out your phone and go to masterclassorlando.com and sign up while it's free right now. The money is going to benefit Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Today went into benefit Angel Wings International. But let's give one more round of applause to our panelists. Anything anyone else needs to add before we... All right, so the bar is now open. The best way you can say thank you is by sticking around, buying some food, or if you're just running out the door to your next thing, leave some cash on the bar and tip the bartenders. We didn't charge you to come. We didn't really charge you to come, but you gave the charity. But it would be really cool if you guys supported Harry Buffalo. Let's give the restaurant one more round of applause. And thank you all. We're going to jump in a quick picture. Just look at Ariel. And that's it, guys. Thanks.